Hello, I am the lies upon which you sup, and this is Late to the Party, your one-stop shop for Bright Futures recaps. You want to watch the Bright Futures campaign, but you just don't have the time to watch the actual episodes? Well, never fear, that's what this is for. Today, I'm going to be giving you a recap of episodes 26 through 30 of the Bright Futures campaign. Let's jump into it. Episode 26 is a race through a puzzling dungeon. The students, very concerned with completing the rescue as fast as possible, for the highest possible marks, speed their way through puzzle after trapped room after riddle. Along the way, Una comes into possession of a set of paired maces, one of them exuding radiant light, and the other seeming to eat away at the luminance around it. Tether successfully solves the riddle about a werewolf-plagued town, allowing them to get close to their quarry, and turns quick thinking about the group's star signs opens the door to their target's cage. As soon as they begin to try and leave, however, a massive training golem begins to pursue them in a violent effort to try to reclaim the rescued dog. With a combination of magical webs, decoy shanties, and a dead sprint from Tether that would make Olympians blush, the students make it out unscathed. Once outside, the group is awarded full marks for their speed by a somewhat surprised Brom. He also informs them that due to their sojourn in hell, the rest of the semester has been thrown out of whack. The staff needs some time to figure out the rest of the school year, so the students are about to have a few weeks off. School's out for winter in episode 27. To kick things off, we follow Turn on his quest to finally retrieve his lost backpack from the Withered Queen's court. He links up with old friend of the party, Trisha the Traveler, along the way, as well as soliciting the help of Theron Sintreth, a wizard with aspirations to study the Feywild. Unfortunately, in the crystallized wreckage of Wilther's watch, they run into a heap of trouble with a group of bandits calling themselves the Lion's Pride, and Turn and Theron are captured. Somehow, with the help of Trisha's stealth and Theron's quick spell work, the team escapes from the bandit camp with all their possessions and without incurring any more damage. Turn attempts to lead the ragtag bunch to the Withered Queen's court, barely avoiding death at every turn. He and Trisha eventually offload Theron in the Primal Grove and receive some information from Elitha's brother Aether about where to start looking for his missing items. A stump, deep in the court where all lost things end up eventually, guarded by two unseelie Fae. Turn manages to retrieve his sword and shield that had been with his backpack, both items of immense sentimental value to him, but not without a price. The Fae take his magic weapons and one of his horns in the exchange. Additionally, due to its time in the court, the sword's blade has broken and rusted, leaving only the hilt behind. Exhausted and dejected, Turn heads back to the estate to wait for the others. Tether, too, wanders off on her own in episode 28. In search of familiar scenery in Kelshar, she encounters her friends from the Thieves Guild and joins up with them to execute a proper mansion heist. She and her fellows infiltrate a lavish party and manage to steal a set of exquisite rings from the mansion's collection without being noticed. Back at the Thieves' hideout, a celebration of their success rages into the night. Turns out that when she really gets down to it, Tether's pretty damn good at this whole thieving thing. As Tether prepares to return home the next day, a bit of a commotion breaks out in the false bar above the hideout, and the culprits are none other than Pell and Mel. Long time no see, guys. They've besieged the hideout with a host of horribly mutated crabmen to send some kind of message for their new employer. Tether and her roguish friend Dima fight their way through the crabs with the help of a fungal zombie Tether unwittingly made of the hideout's doorman. In the aftermath, Tether tells Dima everything she knows about Pell and Mel, and Dima swears revenge on behalf of her guild. She also allows Tether to indefinitely borrow a hat of disguise, which Tether uses to look more like the normal elven woman she used to be before she became a mushroom. Riding high, but a little bit stressed, she returns to the estate as well. In episode 29, the last of the Bright Futures gang hits the beach. Una invited everyone to come home with her for the break, but only Septon and Shandi took her up on the offer, so the abbreviated group heads home to her humble hometown of Helvast. Her school friends are a hit with her best friends from home and her parents alike. It's too bad that everyone is hell-bent on embarrassing her at every turn. Una's parents, who own the local theater, recruit our heroes for a few bouts of stage combat as part of their ongoing production, and they prove themselves to be very successful performers. But that's not all. Through the text of the play, they learn a bit more about the mysterious fey creature known as the Peadoir, which is what Trinty's 2's parish was, according to Averth. It seems as though this ancient verse isn't quite ancient history. To make matters worse, Shandi receives a dinner invitation from his persnickety patron, Lord Rask. As usual, Rask isn't keen to take no for an answer, so Shandi is forced to leave the coastal paradise a little early. Resk attempts to build a better working relationship with his ward, though he doesn't leave much room for argument about it. At the end of a profoundly awkward stay, Shandi heads back to the estate, soon to be followed by Septon and Una. At long last, we're getting the gang back together. Things are almost back to normal in episode 30. The students reunite at Hagen Estate and prepare for their winter term. Eltha stops by to inform them that they have a big field trip coming up, one that will take them through the Underdark into the largest library in the world, the Kylian Archives. But first, they have a week of classes and the all-important Snow's Harbinger Festival to attend. Classes go by as normal, and when the day of the festival finally arrives, most of the group is gung-ho to celebrate. Turn, still feeling dejected after his fumbles through the court, decides to stay home, as does Tether, who does not like big crowds in big cities. The rest of the group somewhat begrudgingly leave them behind and head off to experience the biggest winter Assyrian holiday. Once in town, Una buys some gifts for her family, Shandi adds another creature to his plush collection, and Septon runs into an elven woman around his age named Isla. The group feels like she's familiar somehow, but can't quite place her. Unbeknownst to them, this is Tether in disguise, who has spent the week developing a faux life here in Kelshar for a disguised alter identity. Isla shows the group a good time in town, leading to an absolutely smashed Una, a few run-ins with Arlith Favalar, and the discovery of the nightlife of Kelshar. As the night of celebration draws to a close, the students stay the night in one bed at the Emerald Rock and wake up the next morning ready for their field trip. And that's it for episodes 26 through 30 of the Bright Futures campaign. Now you are caught up to episode 30. You can jump in whenever you want, or don't. That's your prerogative. If you want to watch the full episodes themselves, these ones that I just described, earlier ones, or ones that are after this, if they exist already, you can find them on this here YouTube channel, the one you are watching right now. And if you want to catch us live, you can absolutely do that. We stream this campaign on most Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Dungeon Party Show. So see you there, or not. Once again, your prerogative. Okay, bye!